Hey guys, welcome to Refresh, your chance to reconnect with God and a little bit of a midweek, just breath of fresh air. At least I pray that's what this is for you guys. I hope everybody's doing good. Today I want to talk about connection and more importantly, disconnection. This past Sunday, when we were at youth group with our couple of students that have been making our Zoom call, I kept disconnecting and it was really annoying. But Tom asked me, is there anything you would like to share with the youth? And I'm in the middle of dropping and coming back in and coming back out. And like literally, he asks me, I open my mouth and boom, disconnected. It was really annoying. And then I came back and I was like, all right, guys, here's your lesson. Don't disconnect. And I know I kind of said it humorously, but then I started thinking about it this week and it's kind of been on my mind. And I was like, don't disconnect, don't disconnect, don't disconnect. When I think about disconnect, I think of one of my earliest attempts, and I'm going to preface this with I'm a huge nerd, but one of my earliest attempts of trying to play Dungeons and Dragons online with friends, where I think we were in high school, and I just remember everybody kept disconnecting, and we say it was because of internet issues, but I don't know, deep down inside, I don't know if it was really internet issues. I think they just got bored and didn't want to play. Which I mean, it happens, attention spans. I can respect that now. I can understand it. But, I think back to that memory distinctly because we had like five people all in like a Skype call. We had our headsets on, we're talking, and just one at a time, people were dropping out. And yeah, it just sticks out to me as disconnecting. And, um, that I mean, as somebody that really wanted to play that was having fun, I kind of hurt me a little bit. I wasn't a huge fan of that, and it really ruined the whole experience for me. But so that's my like earliest thought of disconnecting, and uh, now I'm thinking about disconnection as like, man, it's almost like built into our society right now. We're so consumed with social media that we have this like it's this baseline very shallow connection with everybody, but we don't have depth of relationship with anybody, if that makes sense. um, we're so used to this very surface level, like I even go through every day that I'm on my computer, I look at it, I hit my homepage, and then I look at the top right corner, I'm like, okay, birthdays. Yep, gotta go wish everybody a happy birthday. No, it's not a bad thing, but I look at it, and some days I'm looking at it and like, who is this person? Or I haven't talked to this person in 7 years. I'm still gonna say happy birthday, and that's probably the only thing I've said to them in the past 7 years. But like, it makes you really question it. And so, um, as I'm thinking about disconnection, and really then I'm trying to think, okay, well, what does it take for real connection to happen? Um, you know, Tom and I and the whole church staff have been trying to do videos to connect with everybody, but man, it really takes a little one-on-one kind of situation to really connect. And I don't know how that works really as a whole church. But one of the things I do know that's really cool that we can do is we have these wonderful tools in our pockets right here. They call them cell phones. Uh, I think at this point everybody has one. Uh, Not everybody has a smartphone, but everybody has a phone for sure. And they're powerful little tools that we can use to connect with other people. And not to say that social media connection is a bad thing. I think social media is great. We can kind of keep that surface level connection with a lot of people. I see what's going on in other people's lives, but man, to get that deeper connection, we actually have to try. Um, and I know that's like unheard of in our society today, but you have to try to have a connection with people. Yeah, we do. And I know for me, one of the coolest things about connection has been earlier when we were just starting this whole shebang of Corona, and we were at the church and trying to get everything up to streaming capacity. And I was like, I'm gonna go call my friends at Reverb Church, and uh, they actually were able to give me a tour of all their setup and show me around, and it was really great. It was a huge thing about the church coming together as the Church Universal to be in this together. And I think it's been really great for all churches to kind of walk through this together and be like, yep, we're all in the same boat. Um, but while I was going to meet them, I had in my phone 12:30, so I thought I was going to meet the dude Cody at 12:30 at their office, and so I drive back there and I'm chilling. I'm like, "Where's Cody?" So I text him because that's how we communicate. We text, do texty text, and then he was like, "I thought we said 1:30." So I looked through and I'm like, "Oh shoot, we did say 1:30. I am early." Well, I did what every good person does at that point, and I drove over to Dunkin', went through the drive-through. But someplace on down the line of things, I had accidentally hit call, and I had accidentally called my old roommate Alexis. Now, as social anxiety goes, and I completely understand it, I was like, my generation doesn't call people. We don't call. We if we do call, we like plan it out. Oh my gosh! And I was like, disconnect, disconnect, disconnect. I don't think I could have hit that red button any faster. And about 10 minutes later, I had just gotten my Dunkin'. I get a call from him, and he's like, "Dude, did you call me?" I was like, "Yeah, sorry about that." Uh, and then we started catching up and talking about it, and we're like, "Yeah, like it's good. We still appreciate that communication with each other, um, and it's really important." I know usually like our daily communication is sending memes back and forth, as every good 21st century relationship and friendship goes. Um, but sometimes you want to talk on the phone. You want to actually hear what's going on and get that deeper part of what's happening in someone's life, especially for friends that we don't get to see very often. Now, I know the new very often theme might be like a couple weeks. I don't think I've actually seen Alexis in person for 2 years. Yes, I am getting old. Um, but we can still have connection. And that's something really cool. And as I was thinking about this connection and being able to talk to people on the other side of the United States, like that's can we just take a moment and appreciate how mind-boggling that is? I can just casually pick up this giant little supercomputer from my pocket, call somebody on the other side of the US, and talk to them in real time. That's amazing. I can post on social media and share an update. People anywhere can see it. That's really cool. And I got to thinking about this connection, and I started thinking like, Bible, we got this little back quarter. All these are really letters that were, in a sense, we're reading somebody else's mail, but Paul, who wrote a large chunk of the New Testament, all of those New Testament books that we call them today were letters written to somebody, and we're quite literally reading their mail and seeing that connection between Paul and the churches at all these different locations. And that's a really cool thing that we get to do as Christians, to see and learn from the best, really. But what does that connection mean? And sometimes we have to read into that a little bit. I've been studying Philippians a lot over the past couple months, and just to see like Paul is so excited about these people for the most part. Like he doesn't really like Corinthians. He looks at them and he's like, "Guys, really? Do I really got to tell you this? Like, come on, get it together." But the Philippians, he's like, "Yes, you guys rock. Keep doing what you're doing. Imitate Christ. Imitate our other church leaders. Look at what I'm doing. Like, this is what you need to be doing." But it's just so happy. and to see those connections. And unfortunately, we don't get to see like the rest of the relationship. We just get that one teeny tiny little glimpse. But it's still really cool. And I think that we need to take that intentionality because, I mean, Paul had to sit there and write out that letter and then find somebody to send it. And I don't know what postage was running in the Roman Empire, but he probably had to find somebody to take it to them by hand. Which, I mean, a lot of work went into that. And yet here I am where I can't even call somebody on the other side of the US without like having a small like social anxiety attack because I just like broke the social norms of my generation. Um, but yeah, I have the tool to do so super easily. Like, come on, what's with that? How do we break from that? How do we move on past that? And maybe it just takes the challenge of this week intentionally reconnect with somebody. I don't care whether it's an old friend, maybe you moved from someplace and you just haven't really had a chance to talk to your friend. Either call them, text them, do something like that, send them a Facebook message, reconnect. I know one of the things that I heard when I was younger about staying connected with people was if you pull up your phone, your little text message app, go through it, scroll through until at least mine keeps it in date order. Wait until you hit about 3 weeks back. And if you haven't texted somebody in 3 weeks, just text them again. Just be like, hey, just checking in. Want to know how you're doing. And if there's somebody that you can think of beyond that, like, go for it. Text them, call them, do something. Maybe you are a letter writing person. Do it. Text them and be like, yo, what's your address? I got to send you a letter. And just do it. Take that bold step and actually kind of reconnect with people that way. I know one of the other really cool ways that we can reconnect is technology. I love to play board games. It's a fun time to have people around the table and not having like a weekly night where I'm having 4 or 5 other guys come here and hang out and play board games. Like it really like hurt me socially, I guess. I don't know. I really am not a huge fan of not being able to have people come together to play board games. But as I've been looking through and working through, I've been trying to find these resources. And even one of the other things that I love to play was Dungeons and Dragons. And I'm looking at it like, man, I'm probably not going to have my usual busy summer. I'm only going to be taking 2 courses. And I was talking to my friend Chase out of nowhere, and we were just like, what if we done Dungeons and Dragons online? Like, let's figure it out. And then I was like, well, shoot, let's get the crew back together, and started making some calls and reconnecting with people. And now we're getting ready to do that, which I'm super hyped for because I haven't had a chance to play games with all these guys together at the same time in a while. And actually, we're going to have somebody who hasn't even played with the rest of the group. So it's going to be even more fun to just, see the melding of personalities and be social. And it's going to be great. So my question for you guys today is, maybe I have 2 questions for you today. Number 1, and this is sheerly out of my own interest, what is your favorite game? It can be a sport, a video game, a board game, a role-playing game, or whatever. What is it? And why? I guess that's a part of that. And number 2, how do you find you connect the best with people? Are you a card writer? Are you a caller? Are you a texter? Heck, you might even be like a gift sender where like you always want to send somebody a gift. Let me know in the comments because I really am curious about, what do you guys do to stay connected? How do you stay connected? And what does that look like in your life? Is it easy? Is it hard? Do you have to be mentally aware of it? Or do you just do it by second nature? All that stuff. Let me know in the comments. And I will see you guys next week. Hope you've been refreshed, and we'll catch you later. Love you guys.